Hello, welcome to Big Open Door Media Makers. I'm Michelle Lee, your host, and we're here today with Aspen and Jesse to talk to us about their experience at the Boston climate strike.
As you already said, my name is Aspen. I'm in the 6th grade and go to Pierce, and my background in media really started with my local cable/TV show where I co-host, film, and help edit for.
I'm Jesse. I'm in 7th grade and I go to Heath. And I don't really have any background in media other than Big. But while I didn't have a background in media, I had a background in storytelling. And I like to tell stories through my music and through my writing.
So tell us more about your project and why you got involved.
So me and my mom are already going to go to the September 20th climate strike. And then I had an idea if we could use some of the filming equipment from Big to help make a documentary or educational video about the September 20th climate strike. And then one thing led to another, and we started to film it, and then the editing process began.
Well, I joined because I wanted to make a big impact in my community, and I really just am really passionate about climate striking and fighting climate change. And this program's with my buddy Aspen, so.
That's great. So now let's take a look at the video that you two created.
It may seem impossible to pull the emergency brake, and yet that is what we have to do. But right now, I think there is an awakening going on. Even though it is slow, the pace is picking up and the debate is shifting. This is thanks to a lot of different reasons, but it is a lot because of countless of activists, and especially young activists. Activism works.
And I am so proud that you folks are out here saying enough is enough, get off your keisters, and get to work now getting it done.
Why do you think young people are stepping up their role in climate change activism?
Well, for one, this is going to affect us most of all when we're moving into new places and there's going to be more floods, and it's really our generation that's going to be hit by the most in 11 years. It's going to be our prime time that's going to get devastated by climate change.
Looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
So I first read about them while reading the newspaper. I saw that they went into Nancy Pelosi's office. They did this sort of direct democratic action to raise awareness of the Green New Deal, to get young people involved in this process, to push awareness and push action to fight the climate.
And I'm going to ask you a few questions about the climate strike. Is that okay?
Yes.
Why are you striking against climate change?
I think it's a very big issue today, and it needs to be reversed, and I think there's a sense of urgency that our current politicians are not addressing.
The things that we have the most control over are extracting and then burning fossil fuels. And so we burn gasoline in our cars. We burn natural gas or oil in our homes to heat them. And we burn coal and natural gas and sometimes oil in power plants for electricity.
One, I think we need to transition our energy system to one that is renewable, one that does not burn carbon and put it into the atmosphere. I think we also need to change the way we do things. I think we need to consume less energy. I think we need to consume less resources.
How long do you think that we have to fix this?
I believe that we have 10 or 11 years. That's not very long.
So I think we're realizing that we are the generation that needs to speak up and that we need to stand up for what's right.
What are some other things you can do to help reverse the course of climate change?
There are actions and politicians we can talk to all over the state, all over the country. One of the ways people can get more involved is by joining Sunrise Movement, which I'm here representing. And just by getting involved with that, you learn all the different things going on, what politicians to talk to, what actions are available, what petitions to sign, all of those, just to get we need more people and more bodies and stepping up to leaders saying this needs to be a change. So that's one of the ways you can get more involved.
Welcome back. Aspen and Jesse, that was amazing. Are you guys passionate about climate issues?
Yes, we are.
As Jesse said, I am, and I know he is too. But I've always been really passionate about it, especially with my TV show, The Gaia Report, that touches on climate issues that we faced today. And that's also why originally I was going to go to the September 20th climate strike.
Well, yeah, I'm very passionate about climate change, like I said before. And there's a lot of people at Heath who are very passionate about climate change, but we don't have an environmental club. So I thought this would be a good chance for us to hook up with Pierce's environmental club and to inspire a lot of youth to step up to climate change.
And what kind of impact are you guys hoping to achieve through your video?
For me personally, I want this to have an impact on youth, to kind of say that they have a voice, and then also to kind of get that climate change is a real issue, that we only have 10 years to help or to reverse the effects of it. And I really just want that to be a known issue, and I feel that the documentary helped do both of those things.
I want to make a positive impact on youth here and everywhere, because youth have been on the front lines of all successful protests and strikes, from the civil rights march in Birmingham to the September 2019 climate strike.
And the walkouts that were shown in the video of Heath, and then also Pierce School.
Was there anything that you heard during the interviews that really stood out to you?
Well, yes, there is this one boy on the interview who said that it was really going to be our prime time that's going to get devastated by climate change. I believe that he is completely correct, because the timeline for climate change that we have is not even 11 years now. It's 2020. It's 10 years for now, and that's going to be our adulthood that's going to be really messed up by climate change when it becomes irreversible.
I completely agree with you, Jesse.
And do you guys believe that your video will help other youth step up their own climate change activism?
I feel that it would, or at least I hope that it will make an impact on youth, and I think that we really got the point across. And I really hope that actually this interview that kind of lets them know about the documentary, and that youth actually created it. And yeah.
Well, like Aspen, I do think it's gonna help to inspire youth to use their voice to help fight against climate change. And I hope that it really inspires people, like it inspired us to step up our game in the fight against climate change.
And what have you guys learned through the process of creating this project?
I feel that we've learned two aspects, and you can touch on this a little bit more about, I would say, climate change, and then also how to film and edit help make like a documentary or educational video, which I think is priceless. So.
And something that Aspen didn't mention is that we learned that we can use our voice, and that our voice can be heard and powerful. And I do think that we learned how to use the equipment. We learned how to take interviews, create and formulate interview questions, and film the interviews.
Yeah, and then edit it too, that was nice. And then how to just really put together a documentary educational video that touches on an important subject.
And what was it like bringing all that equipment out to a protest?
Well, it gave us a sense of, well, I know it gave me a sense of responsibility. Like, we're gonna be the ones filming this. We're gonna be the ones who make an impact more than anyone, because while this climate strike happened in Boston, there are people in other places that weren't able to go, or that maybe couldn't go, and we are showing them what happened, what we can do, like what happened at the climate strike.
We were officially documenting it. That's priceless, because that's forever information that can be shared with the entire world.
And what more can you guys tell us about the technical aspects of shooting and editing the video?
Well, I think that we can proudly say now that it's actually pretty difficult behind the scenes to create a documentary like this, because it's not just going out and looking at them and then editing all the parts that we don't like. You have to actually choose the specific things that we want and don't want inside the video, and you have to understand cues, and you have to get the people you're interviewing to answer the questions.
I completely agree with what you said, Jesse. I also think, though, it was just an interesting process, being my first time really creating like a documentary or a film, and I really enjoyed it, especially working with Jesse, my friend. So, yeah.
And finally, do you guys have a next project in mind?
Well, we have a few in mind, but the one we're thinking of the most is Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter, because what people just don't seem to understand is that there's an implicit "to" at the end of Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you both so much for being here today. It was really great hearing about your first documentary, and I can't wait to hear about the next one. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in learning how to make media, or you want to have your voice heard, come down to BIG at 46 Tappan Street, or visit our website.